Well, hello and good morning from Smart Studio Circle. It's January 1st, 2026, and we are coming live to you with the best of the holiday greetings and a brilliant new year to all of our listeners. Yes, today we start another year. We reflect on what we did in the past and we take a calm, confident, reflective view at the goals for the future. I want to wish you all a happy new year, and my way of my way of wishing you a happy new year is that your energies create intentions that are so positive that you all manifest those. You know, as a learner, I've fallen in love with quantum physics recently. And what I've found is that in quantum physics, the when the vibration of energy is at its peak, it can move things. So for example, if with my mind I think about something like moving a needle on a desk, I can do that. So, so today, as we start our session, I ask all of you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and as you listen calmly, try to listen to your heart as you normalize your breathing. There's a stepwise process for doing that. First, we pump a lot of oxygen into our lungs. And then we sit erect with our back not using our back to support ourselves and let the breathing normalize. And as the breathing normalizes, what happens is you're able to listen to your heartbeat. And then at that point, you think about a big crystal ball with a very bright light at the top of your head. Imagine that. And all of a sudden, as you, with your eyes closed, you can see everything is lit up above your brain. Savor that moment of brightness in your heart. Savor that moment of brightness in your head. And then begin to intend. Don't think about it. Let your heart tell you, what do you want for your studio? What do you want for your family? What do you want for your relationships? And then as you think about this, take those ideas into the bright light. Yes, take that idea, number one, into the bright light. I'm doing that right now with you. Let's think of idea number two that you want for your studio. And put that into the bright light now. And let's just think of a third thing that you want for your studio or for your personal life. And put that in the bright light. Now, take that bright light ideas, bring them to your heart, and internalize all three very quickly. Internalize them, embody them, so it becomes part of you. Attach an emotion of happiness and gratitude to each one. Let's take idea number one that you had. Imagine how you'll feel if you have that. Associate gratitude to it, associate happiness with it. Let's go to idea number two. And associate happiness and gratitude to it. Now let's go to idea number three. Associate happiness to it and associate gratitude. Now open your eyes and see those ideas happening. So, thank you for participating in that. We continue our journey today, people, with the referral flywheel. We've been talking a lot about revenue generation in the month of November and December, right? And what I want to do is today not speak to you like a marketeer, but I want to talk about the referral flywheel, how we can turn families into recruiters for us. So let's get grounded, right? I have 3 studios, 3 leases, 3 sets of staff members in 3 different communities. I've talked a lot about these. And these are my lessons learned that I want to bring them to you. What I've learned is that if I want to progress without drowning, I must build systems of different sorts. And that's what I'm bringing to you. Now, some of you have attended and you have years of experience already doing this stuff. I have about 9 years total. But when I'm drowning, I know, right? But when we have growth with system, that feels like breathing. So today is about building a system that works when you're teaching, tired, or not thinking about marketing at all, right? When I had my first studio, growth was exciting. When I had the second, it felt demanding. And with the third one, now you're going between studios, right? It feels relentless unless I was being intentional. Ads got busy. Ads got expensive. Parents got busier, and my attention was split. I realized if growth is required, my if the growth requires my constant energy, it's not scalable. So today is about shifting our effort for growth from efforts to a system. And you guys know, whenever I talk about, well, nice word to say it is, I talk candidly. Across all 3 studios, one thing was consistent. My best families, the ones who stayed, always paid on time, trusted us, and brought in newer families. Not because we were loud about it, but because they felt safe, they felt proud, they felt connected with us. So the core truth is very simple, right? We want to honor these parents, right? We want to honor these parents and at the same time tackle the rising costs, lower our social reach, uh, eliminate parent attention fatigue, and get rid of the enrollment pressure that we have during spring and summer for the most time. For fall quarter is like our best, right? Because that's when everybody at the start of the year is signing up. So, so the core truth is very simple that if I can take my happiest families and use their guidance for referrals, right? And we make it easier for them and make a benefit for them, we are actually in good shape. So our job is to design for them, not chase them, right? So, so what is the uh, referral flywheel? See, in our case, referrals outperform every other channel we have, whether it's ads or whatever, because of higher trust, faster enrollment decision, better retention, and lower cost per student. Now you have to make sure that every time you get a referral, you pay the family. And we have some families that are simply attending for free because they bring in so many referrals, right? And it cascades. But this will work only if you uh, design it intentionally. A simple flywheel for referrals has four parts. First, experience that's worth talking about. Now, this experience is what you give when you have your curriculum and your lessons. Then there are moments that prompt sharing, right? So you have to create those events where you can share this referral program, whether it's through e-blitz, emails, or otherwise, or rewards that feel good but not awkward. And the other part is tracking that doesn't feel like a lot of work. So when it's done right, referral wheel can compound results. So for each studio, I was not doing one-off campaigns. I needed something that kept working while I wasn't looking. And flywheel is different from a push. We apply energy once and the momentum carries it forward. Now, what are some lessons learned? Some common mistakes. You know, the typical stuff that everybody does, creating flyers, giving discounts, tell your friends with no structure. They failed because it was transactional, right? It felt transactional. Parents don't want to feel like salespeople for your studio. They should feel like advocates for something they believe in. Yeah, this is something. So when you give mindful ownership to this behavior request, then that invites participation, right? So if you are doing these kind of things where tell your friend or cash only rewards, or you don't have tracking or follow up, or you have these one time campaigns, then nothing sticks. You see? So we have to create share worthy moments, right? Across all of my studios, right? We create referral moments. Uh, Sometimes those are planned and sometimes they are not. So, so timing matters, right? So, what are those moments? You see, when families feel proud, they will feel like referring. If families feel seen, families feel included, if families feel emotionally connected, they would want to give you referrals. But if there's a downer moment, that may not be the best time to improvise, right? So you have to prompt at the right moment. These are some examples I want to share with you. First, performance for the student, right? If you have these milestones for students for success, you give them, you celebrate those. When you're recognizing a teacher, when you have a community spotlight, right? So, so, so the question is not how do I get referrals, right? The question is where am I creating moments that are worth sharing? If you have this light shift, if you have this light shift, you're going to do great. Okay. Timing matters, people. Timing matters. So don't ask for referrals when parents are stressed. Ask for referrals when they are relieved, happy, or proud. After a recital, after a breakthrough, after a personal win. Ownership means deciding when the ask happens, not improving it at the front desk. Front desk has nothing to do with referrals. Because if you start asking each time, refer, right? People are not going to want that. So I also want to talk about rewards that would actually work. Please don't ask for referrals randomly, ask emotionally. And you emote from a point of success. Emote from a not do not emote from a point of failure. If you see a point of failure, deal with it privately. When you have to deal with referrals positively, then deal with it publicly. Okay. We have tested a ton of things with rewards, right? Cash rewards feel cold, recognition feels warm. So things that worked for us are tuition credits, VIP seating, costumes, or a recital discount, class upgrades, public recognition, right? These things actually work. Please don't create complicated rules. You're making your own life difficult. Avoid the salesy language. Mhm. Avoid the salesy language. Also avoid complicated rules. Okay. A good reward reinforces belonging. But if it feels transactional, then we're not doing the right thing. So, and then the other big deal is the tracking burden. Oh my God. I gave you this, so we should have. When you have transaction, you need to have tracking. This is a big lesson. If referrals depend on me remembering who referred who, that is a failure. Not because I didn't care, because I'm too busy between three dance studios. You know. So ownership means designing a system that actually works when you're tired, and there's automation, right? It should work when you're not even motivated. Automation is not laziness. Automation is leadership, where you give, where you keep on your, where you keep your promise and don't forget. So now with CircleRAM AI, we help studios by tracking referrals, tying referrals to families, triggering thank you messages, also helping you with what's working, what's not working. There's no spreadsheets there. There's no guesswork, right? It just works. So, so imagine this. This is actually one of our own uh, referral example. A parent shares a recital clip. A friend asks where their child learned the dancing. Then a referral is submitted quietly. The system handles the rest. A reward is issued automatically. And you have growth without ads. So you're not chasing those awkward moments. And the growth was happening while I was teaching, right? So this way, when you see the incentives, you can build a referral culture, not a campaign. And in a referral culture, people, families are feeling proud about something, right? And it's better than marketing. Culture is more important than marketing. Marketing is very dry, very transactional. But when you actually connect with your audience and when you create the growth, things change. You see. So when parents feel they're seen, they speak up. When parents are ignored, they stay silent. Oh my God, I have to share one thing. Being positive. You can have, let this be like your 2026 resolution. In every negativity, find something that's heavily positive. Come up with appreciation, come up with gratitude, come up with moments of celebration. And when you work with parents and you're all positive, you will make them the champions for your referrals. And usually, whenever we go through these kind of things, I always say, let's do one thing. Well, okay, a few things. Sorry, I lied. Let's start with identifying three share-worthy moments this week. Choose one referral award and decide when you will ask. Set up a simple tracking in an Excel sheet for now. And then communicate with your families, right? Associate associate the sharing with a event. We're not, I want you guys to consider experimenting with your studios. So you're not building a massive program. You just identify one moment worth sharing, one simple reward, and one way to track it. So you can put wheels on this. You see, earlier I said when you have something, when you have an intention, right, and you vibrate at a very high frequency, and then your emotion vibrates at a very high frequency, and you take an action at that moment, then you have told your universe we are ready to go. So what happens is ownership of things like this will grow through small, repeatable decisions that you would make. And folks, I'm not being awkward when I say this. This actually works. It works. It's these small actions. You see, will parents feel awkward? Only if you force them. You know, marketing and success, if you ask your customers, they want you to succeed. They want to learn what you offer. And if the world doesn't know what you have to offer, how on earth are they going to subscribe to your services? That's why you have to keep your communication grounded and do it at the right time. How often should you ask? Well, every time you have a moment of happiness, you can ask. You can ask on flyers, you can ask in live events, you can ask on your website, right? The thing though is the energy that you should put in is when you think about it, you have to trust the relationship you have already built, right? Does this work for small studios? Absolutely. Does this replace ads? Heck yeah. You just have to believe, right? And then you go forward. And there's a long term payoff. You get sustainable growth with calm, and the referral flywheel creates a calm growth. It compounds trust, retention, and alignment over time. You should also make sure that every time you get a referral, that you treat it really well. Don't ignore the questions. Don't ignore the time that the initial customer may need. So now you don't need louder marketing. You just need a few decisions, a better set of systems, and more presence as an owner. And referral flywheels, in my opinion, aren't about asking for more. They're just honoring the work that you have already done for the families. So if today helped you grow differently, that's a win. CircleRAM AI is here to support studio owners who want ownership without burnout. Thank you for showing up not just as studio owners but as leaders. If you have any questions, kindly let me know. Otherwise, it was fun hosting yet another session today with you about revenue growth. I wish you all a joyful, successful, healthy, and a collaborative 2026. And I'll see you in the next session. Thank you very much.